Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and tonight we're going to take a look at the 5 best or most interesting mods from the month of September that I hadn't already covered right here on the channel. The 5 best mods for Jurassic World Evolution, and it was an exciting month. Towards the end, we actually had a brand new breakthrough in modding technology. One of the mods from today will be showcasing just that. Anyways, let's get started with our first mod for tonight. Yet another fantastic, realistic dinosaur mod from Jagged Fang Designs. If you're into your realistic dinosaurs, you should be checking out Jagged Fang Designs. Go download all of their mods. They will, of course, be linked down below. But this one is a little bit harder to spot. It's Comsignathus. I don't know why I've put it in the largest exhibit, but I did. Oh, we can even... I've got one ready to hatch. Look at that. Beautiful. We will be doing some zooming in a second. Because they look lovely, but it's very hard to tell that. So I'm going to pop those out, and we'll find ourselves the default skin. There we go, Comsignathus 001. There it is. Unfortunately, not much else I can do with the camera here. What we'll do is we'll hop into Ansel in a second. Just seeing it in motion there, looking lovely. Okay, there we go. Let's hop into Ansel. Zoom in a little bit. Comsignathus Longipes, and there, doesn't that look fantastic? I love the level of detail in this teeny tiny dinosaur that you're so rarely going to see like this. Is very, very cool. I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. You can see it's got like a feathered coating, which is what we'd expect for Comsignathus. This wonderful patterning with the striping sweeping into the nose area, and then the black descending down, and the variation in colour in this furry feather coating as well. I mean, look at the different shades of browns and reds and blacks and greys and all these bunch of colours, and there's even patterning over there on the tail and the claws. It's a really cool looking Comsignathus. And there are a bunch of different colours as well, so that's our default. Got a green boy over here if you want your green, to come back from the default, from the original. Some really nice bright colours, which I think is what you would expect from the Comsignathus as well. These small feathered dinosaurs were likely very bright in tone, kind of like, modern birds. Well, not all birds are bright, so who knows? Who knows? This one, the vivid one, very cool, very cool. Doesn't it look great? It looks great. I don't really have anything to add. Go check it out. All the Jagged Fang Design stuff is super cool, and this is no exception. Now, onto our second mod. You may have noticed, if you have eyeballs, and if you don't, I'm very sorry, that there are Tor Vehicles going through our Comsignathus exhibit. Now, why would that be? What a peculiar thing to do for no apparent reason. Well, thanks to Carlos2386, is that right? Thanks to Carlos2386, we have redesigned Tor Vehicles. So I'm just going to bring you down here as they seemingly stop for the compies, yes. Now, it can be difficult to tell. Let's try to get one in a bit of light, shall we? Where are we? There we go. Beautiful. It can be a little difficult to tell, looking at this, what the differences are from the original and the new one. So I'm going to bring up a couple of sort of comparison images that Carlos himself provides on the Nexus Mods page. The primary differences are here at the front in the grille. The lights have changed entirely. We've got the antenna on both sides. We've got the lights changing up here at the top. The rims have changed a little bit as well. It's actually quite a demonstrable difference. I did not realise that the ones that we already had in game were so wrong in so many ways. And I'm really curious as to why they were designed that way in the first place, when they could have just been made to look movie accurate like we've got here. But that's really cool. Now, that alone, whilst very cool, because we're getting, vehicle redesigns, that's awesome, maybe wouldn't be enough to make it into this list. The best thing about this, I'm going to show you this in a different way. Let's hop into the Tor. I need to switch camera. So we're sitting in the right-hand side. We look to the left. Oh, look at that, there's nobody there. That might not seem like a big deal, but it is. It was one of those things that was noticeable and always threw me, was that in Jurassic World Evolution, your Tor vehicles had drivers, when of course in Jurassic Park they were all automated. Hammond even mentions it. He spared no expense, ladies and gentlemen. And this mod, if you install, it's an optional file, so by default it will include the driver, but you can install an optional file that removes the driver from the vehicle, makes it fully automated, stick some maps and brochures down there on the chair instead, and yeah, I think that's really, really cool. I love that. Is actually a great, that is just one of those mods that everyone should install if you're playing this on PC. There's like literally no reason not to have this mod running constantly. It won't get rid of your drivers in other vehicles, it will only affect this one. So big shout out to Carlos2386. Absolutely fantastic, yeah. Big thumbs up. And this is another dinosaur reimagining by Commander Blush this time. It is a Giganotosaurus, but not as you know it. Not as you know Tosaurus at it. Eh? Is that a joke? It might be a joke, I don't know. Very cool. I haven't seen this. Sexy, sexy. Okay, so, for those of you who've also dabbled in another dinosaur game, i.e. the Isle, maybe you recognise this Giga over here. Now, whilst this mod isn't taken directly from the Isle, it is a completely unique model. It's, you know, it's the existing Giga kind of remodeled to look more like the Isle one with a custom-made skin texture as well, in order to avoid copyright stuff and getting into any legality troubles. But it does redesign the Jurassic World Evolution Giga to look like the one from the Isle, and I think it's really, really cool. It fits into the world surprisingly well. Look at that bad boy. It looks great. A lot of people... I mean, I'm actually not the biggest fan of the Jurassic World Evolution Giga, I've got to be honest. This I think I prefer a lot more. There's a lot more detail in the head. It's got a more interesting skull shape and body shape. This default skin is really cool as well. This kind of dark, spooky leopard kind of thing going on. Very cool. I do have another skin ready. This is why we looked at the Tor Vehicles first, because I figured they might die, basically. Let's pop out. This is the Tundra skin. I believe there are a bunch of different skins as well. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Everything's very cool though, isn't it? There we go. So there are a bunch of different skins. You can check those out. I, of course, link all these mods in the description down below. Go check those out if you want to use any of them for yourselves and give some love to the mod makers who all deserve it. This is a really, really cool looking Giga. Again, this isn't something that would have a major impact on your game, but if you just want to mix up how your parks look a little bit, you know, the game's been out for a long time now. It's not updated since last December with Return to Jurassic Park. If you want to mix things up, why not try out a new... Hi, George. In the background, George running away. If you want to mix things up with a new Giga, one that resembles, you know, maybe you're a big fan of the Isle, then, yeah, give it a go, you know. Now, the mod maker has mentioned that this doesn't use the Isle file, the actual model, and it doesn't use the sounds, and it will never use the sounds because they'd get into legality trouble. But you may be sitting there thinking, but BestInSlot, my favourite YouTuber, I didn't know you could mod sounds in Jurassic World Evolution. And that's because you couldn't, ladies and gentlemen, until September, until 1 to 2 weeks ago. There was a big modding breakthrough, and people figured out, the very intelligent people, also very weird people, who run the modding community for Jurassic World Evolution, figured out how to edit sounds in the game. And if you go into Nexus and check out the last couple of weeks, the Nexus has been absolutely inundated with tons of mods that change in-game sounds. We're going to look at one tonight which I think people will enjoy, by Goji14, and this is simply a film canon sounds mod for the Spinosaurus. It should make the Spinosaurus sound like it does in Jurassic Park 3. I've never heard this, I've never released this, so we're going to find out together. Let's give it a go. Oh no. I mean, the sound effect was great. It sounded like Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus, right? I may have forgotten that I still have the Mosasaurus mod installed from our other playthrough. Okay, let's go for something a little bit more recognizable. I want to make sure I'm modding this correctly. So, I guess people can probably figure out what's going to go on here with the Albertosaurus. This is the Albertosaurus JPOG Scream, in capitals, by Petito777, who, by the way, also made Mammoth Cube, so I'm expecting good things. Cover your ears and prepare yourselves. Amazing. Now, of course, this doesn't look like... I've got so many bloody mods installed at this point that I keep forgetting mods. This is another Jagged Fang Designs mod, but ignore that and focus on the screaming. Let's listen to that one more time. Didn't do it that time.
Ladies
But that's okay. We heard it. It was cool. That is an absolute classic. For those who don't know, in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, the Albertosaurus screamed exactly like that. It is probably the exact same sound file. And it became a bit of a meme over the years. It was like the most recognizable thing about J-Pog in a lot of ways. So to have it here in Jawi is pretty awesome. It's on the way, folks. We're just gonna stop it right there. So the eagle-eyed ones, you might realize there is one more mod still to show. This is very dramatic right here. There we go. Has it worked? It has worked. Beautiful stuff. So this is the well, specifically this is called like the in-gen Jurassic Park era vehicle, but this is part of a mod pack called Jurassic World Evolution Vehicle Reskins, made by Ghost 1627. Lots of people have like a random word and then lots of numbers. That's neither here nor there. What they've done is release several different files. They are all separate files, so you can install the ones that you want to do. That redesign and recolor and remodel, blah, 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 a lot of the different helicopters in the game. This is the one I decided to highlight because I think it's super cool, having the old classic style in-gen Jurassic Park helicopter, just like from the film. I think it looks really, really cool. Big fan of that, but there's a bunch of others. There's a excavation helicopter, which looks really exciting as well. There's some redesigns for the Ranger vehicles and stuff like that. As per usual, you can check those out in the description down below. Go check out all of those for yourselves. But yeah, they look great. I don't know, I'm big on the nostalgia this week, apparently. J-Pog sounds, this, the redesign of the Tor Vehicles, all that kind of jazz. And really what I wanted to do was try to highlight some of the different stuff. It's all well and good, all the new exciting dinosaurs, but it's nice to see people attempting vehicle redesigns and sound redesigns and just messing with things in a more interesting way. I don't want to always like come on here and show 4 or 5 dinosaurs. So 2 or 3 is fine, but beyond that, it's cool to show out some of the more interesting things that people are doing. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Lots of exciting stuff in the past month. Sound breakthrough. We can't quite change the music yet. It is just dinosaur sounds, but who knows what will happen in the future. Watch this space. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.